Right, welcome back to the channel. New video. So today, well, this evening, I'm doing a lower arm on this Range Rover. I've got a wobbly wheel and I know this needs changing, and a Trackrod end as well I'm going to do if I can get it done tonight. Yeah, so I've just been that busy, I haven't had time to do anything. This is one of my winter jobs that I said I would do and I just haven't got round to doing, so I'm biting the bullet. I'm going to do it now tonight. Fingers crossed it goes smoothly. The Trackrod end I know is going to be a bad one, but this lower arm shouldn't be too bad because I've not long had ball joints changed, so it might come off fairly straightforward. So I'll try and get that sorted and then tackle the Trackrod end. So that's where I've got to get this off. This lower arm here that goes to a ball joint just under there. I don't know if you can see that. So I've got to get that off. And that one, and then I've got a Trackrod end as well here to get off, which is going to be a lot harder than this side. So whether I get that done tonight, different story, but we'll give it a go anyway and see how we get on. Right, so that's loose now. Alright, so that's loose, so now I've got to get that one off, if I can. Not sure what size it is, mind. Right, I'm going to need 2 hands for this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to put you down. That should just show you what I'm trying to do. Oh. All the right way, yeah. Like I said, I'm hoping this should come off fairly straightforward because I've not long had the ball joints changed, so should come off quite well, this one. Getting into the dirt on the threads now. Let's try and tighten that up. And when I put them on, I did copper grease them real good, so I'm hoping it should literally fall off, is what I'm thinking. Try and clean that off a bit. Spray some crap on it. Some of that stuff. Oh yeah. There's some crap on them threads. Right, now I've got to get that off the ball joint. Hopefully it don't put up too much trouble. Can't even tell if it's coming. I brought my chisels because I weren't sure. Oh, I did it last time. I bubble up my chisels. Yeah, she don't want to come out yet. I put a lot of copper grease on that though when I first did it. I'm surprised it hasn't come off. I'm going to take the arm off here and see if I can get it to spin. Well, that doesn't help, does it? I need to try and punch that out somehow. Oh, that's not helped. It's better in there than it is out here. Copper grease though. I'll have to just wallop it. Wow. That was an absolute ball ache. I ended up having to cut it in the end. I had to grind it and keep grinding, and I'll show you now, and just take a slice out of it, and tried not to catch the threads. So can you see that? What I've had to do is just keep cutting at it with a grinder, hoping not to catch the threads, and then she's just popped off then. So hopefully now that should come out. I've caught the rubber a tiny bit there. That's a bit of a shame. I've literally just caught it. And hopefully I caught me threads as well right at the bottom, but there's just no room. Right, so hopefully I'll get that on now. What a disaster that was. Right, so I got my lower arm off now. The threads, I've caught the threads a little bit, but not much. I've cleaned them. I've gone on and off 3 or 4 times with the nut itself. So yeah, so I've managed to clean them up a bit. Put this back on now, and then we're there. But anyway, so let's have a crack with that, and then you turn your wheel and get the distance, and it should go on like. Let's have a go. that is on there. So this is the old one. As you can see in there, look, all the rubbers perished in there. So it needed replacing. You probably could push that out actually, but I don't know what the rules are on them, but they're like 30 quid or something, so you just replace them. And as you can see there, that's where I had to cut. So I managed to get in as far as that without the grinding. I've just caught it on the underneath there, and there was no rust in there, like, because I copper greased it like mad last time. I'm surprised it didn't just slide straight off, but a good hit on it, and I managed to get it just by splitting it ever so slightly. Just let it open up a little bit, and then it come off. Right, so now I need the steering. Go in, turn the steering. Fuck that off. Right, so I've got it back on now. As you can see, it goes back on there. Then you tighten that nut up, and it has an Allen key in the bottom there, so you can hold the ball joint while you tighten it up. And I've got away with it just, like I say, there's a little bit of, I caught that rubber just there, but you know, you can't win all the time. Right, let's get that tightened up and finished off. Right, so that's that back on there all tight, and we've got it on there. So the next one I've got to do is the Trackrod end, which is that one there, but that one's going to be a right pain, so I might do that one tomorrow. So I can just tell by the corrosion on it, it's going to be a right pain. Need a better day for that. Right, so if I get it all back together again, yeah, that's me done for the night. Right, I'll leave it there. Trackrod end today. What I've got to do is try and get that off there. I don't know if you can see that. Do a Trackrod end on these. You've got to get that off, which is your adjuster. This whole piece then unscrews off. There's also a ball joint there on that side, the Trackrod end, that's loose. I've done that side. I've got it all jacked up. How I have to jack it up on it, because I haven't got big jacks. So get it high, get my axle stands in, then take it down on the axle stands, then put the jack under the wheel, because it pumps the airbag up then, so I can get the wheel off. And then I move the jack from that side to this side, and I get it on the ball joint and just take it up. It's not got any weight on it, it's just getting it up. So now I've got to heat that right up and use 2 spanners and try and lock that off. And what I do when I'm heating up, I always use a rag and I fill it with water to get a real damp rag, and I cover all the rubbers, everything that's rubber, because it's just going to melt if the heat gets on it. So what I do is I get everything that's going to melt, I get it all wetted up with wet rags, so at least it takes the heat away from it. And now I've got to try and get that thing as hot as I can and then try and free it off. Right, so I'll do that now. Right, that's the easiest one I've ever done. A good bit of heat on it and it just comes straight off. So that's that now loose. But what I've got to do now is get that cooled down a bit, because that's going to be red hot, look. There's me water. Try and cool that down a bit, and then there's half a chance I'll get this off. Spray. tight now. Now that piece as well also comes off. I have to get a chisel and hammer on that, knock that off, then bash it out from there, and then try and get it off. And what I'm going to do, if it doesn't come off, I'm going to grind it and split it down the middle. That's my plan. Right, a few taps of the hammer and that's just come out. So I've knocked that bit off there as well, look. It's like a little ring there, that's been knocked off. I just hit that, I left the nut on so don't damage the threads, and I've hit that off. So that now should come out of there. I'm moving the whole thing. Right, I'm going to need 2 hands. One hand to hold that bit, and then you can see that just holds it, stop it from spinning. That's that off. One good hit with the hammer and that should be out then. Where's the hammer gone? There we go. There it is, out. Now I've got to get this arm off without messing it up. What I'm going to do is just cut it, I think, and split it down the middle. That's what I did last time, and it just works out easier than you spend hours trying to get that off. We'll see. Right, let's do that. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mark it with a grinder, just polish it at where it sits so I know how far to put the other one back on, and you pretty much get it right then without having to get the tracking done. Well, you can count the turns and all that, but you never get it spot on. But if you just shine it up a little bit, you know how far to go on. That's what I'm going to do now. Like that. Just a little bit of a shine, so I know exactly where to stop with my Trackrod end. It'll be alright now. Right, so what I've done is I've split the Trackrod end right down the middle, I've cut it, I've just got a little bit more to do, put the chisel through it, and it'll just poof, split then, rather than trying to get it off. But you just got to be careful with the grinder. Got a little bit more to do. I'm hoping now that should split. It's hot now though. Oh dear. It's not splitting, but I'm nearly there. I need to get the chisel. That might even undo now. Nope, not yet. I'll get a bigger chisel and I'll hit it again. Oh dear. Might split. Oh. Give it a whack. Right, that's how I get them off. I've caught it a little bit with the grinder, but there's not much I can do about that really. It should still take, there's plenty of thread there left to take the new one. That's the only way I've ever had them off. They're just impossible to get off otherwise. You just grind them off. And then my new Trackrod end should go straight in there, like that, if I get it on properly. What's going on? Hopefully I haven't done any major damage. That one seems to even want to go on. There we go. See that little bit of a shine I put on before? You can just about see it there. So that's how far I've got to get it. But I've got it on now. I'll grease all that up now. Spray a bit of that on it for now. That should just help it on. Try and get that on there now. Right, I'll cut back in when I've got all this on. Right, so I've got a Trackrod end on. Tightening it up now, I'm tightening it all up. So I've got it up to my mark. I've tightened that up there by hand. Now I've got to get that side in, which I've just done. I've got to tighten that up. And then I'll take this then to get my tracking done, because I have missed that a bit. So these will probably be all out now. I'll have to go get the tracking done. But then that's nearly it really. Right, now I need my this thing to go in there to hold that while I tighten that up. Right, so that's it done, wheels back on, everything's back on the floor, so that's the lower arm and a Trackrod end. A bit of maintenance I need to do this year. Oil change, service now is the next thing I've got to do, but I'm not doing that today. I've had enough now. I need to take this now and go and get it tracked, check it's all right, and then fingers crossed that's my wheel wobble problem solved. We'll soon find out. Righto, catch us on the next one.